What is up, guys? I'm finally back. Throughout this whole off season with Supreme, I've sort of tried to make a few videos here and there. None have really come together, but Supreme is back. We are in SS18 and I'm super hyped. The lookbook, the preview, whatever you call it, has dropped this morning. So I'm basically going to go through some of it. What I've thought is, just because there's so many things to go through, so many different categories of clothing and stuff, I'm going to break it down into separate videos. So to start with, I'm going to go through my favourite category of Supreme products, and that has to be the accessories. So in this episode, I'm just going to break down all the accessories Supreme are going to be dropping over this season, and which ones I plan on copying. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're in the Supreme site now. We've got everything loaded up, and I'm just going to back through from start to finish in chronological order every Supreme accessory that is dropping over spring summer 18. So first up, as we had sort of a leak slash announcement from Supreme, the Supreme Supreme collabs, the Supreme Stern pinball machine. No disclaimer, I'm not going to be able to get this. Like, realistically, I'll never be able to purchase this for several years until I have enough money to pull the trigger on this pinball machine, which is more likely going to be near enough 10 grand, I reckon. But from the video and the pictures, it is sick, and I would like to own this in my lifetime. So that's why I'm just going to leave that one. So yeah, moving on, it is the Supreme Pack-Light Kayak. So basically this is an inflatable kayak that obviously fits into this sort of like bag you see on the side here. Again, this is going to be a high ticket item. I sort of tried to do a bit of background research into the brand itself that's making this, and I think they go for about 250. So with the Supreme collab as well, I reckon we're going to be looking like 400-500-ish. That's just my guess, I may be way out. But yeah, I would like to own this as well. Again, it's super sick. I especially love the oar you get with it that says Supreme on the paddles. I think that's super sick. But yeah, moving on from that, we have this Supreme, it's called a PAL BT speaker. From what I gathered, this is sort of like a radio slash speaker, so you can tune into different radio stations and frequencies or whatever, and it can blast out some radio into it. What I'm hoping is that this has like an aux cable thing, so you can use it as just like a normal speaker. But yeah, we don't have enough visuals of the back of this thing to know if it has an aux output. Hopefully it does, then it'll be way more desirable, as I'm not one for sitting in my room listening to radio. But other than that, super cool piece. I reckon it'll be quite expensive. Haven't looked into the brand itself, but I can easily see it being a high ticket item. Next up, we have this SOG Axe. It's the same company that did the foldable shovel last season. Probably won't be bothering copying this. I imagine this will drop week 1. Maybe an in-store only thing, maybe online only, just because it's like some sharp items. You can't really be letting 12-year-olds buy axes now, can you? But yeah, don't see the point in this. It might be a good collector's item in the future, but for me, it's a pass. Next up is this Rawlings catcher mask. Now, a couple days before the lookbook dropped, Drops by Jay did announce there was going to be a Rawlings collab. I then looked into the Rawlings brand, and they do all sorts of baseball gear, and I was super hyped because they could have done something so much better than this catcher's mask. Like, I appreciate accessories if it's something obscene that you won't use. I'll appreciate them as long as you can like have it on a shelf and for it to look cool, but even as something sitting on a shelf, I just don't think this would look cool at all. So the only real reason I think anyone would buy it is to actually use it. But I don't know, I think they could have done a better like product with this Rawlings brand. Next up is this alphabet vase. Now, they've used this alphabet graphic on a few items in the season, as well as a few accessories I'm going to talk about in a bit. I've no desire to own a vase, but yeah, I don't like the graphic, I don't like the idea of having a vase. I have nowhere to put it. Even if I had it on my like hype shelf, it wouldn't fit in at all. So yeah, unless this was just a solid red vase that said Supreme around it, I ain't copping. Next up, as per usual, every season they do some sort of gold chain pendant. This time it is called a Justice gold pendant, which has some sort of like scales on it. These things are always super expensive. I would like one if it had like a really dope, like I have to cop sort of pendant, but they are very expensive, so this will have to be a pass as well. This I'm super hyped on, the cartridge flask. Yeah, the cartridge flask. So basically it's some sort of like ammunition shaped flask. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be quite small. It does say 6 ounce pewter flask. So yeah, I think this would be a super cool thing to own, because I do like the idea of taking out hip flasks with you. So I think this is a really unique take on a hip flask. So depending on the retail, I probably will cop, because I think it's a super cool item. And next up, to go with your Supreme inflatable kayak, they are dropping this O'Brien life vest, which I'm super hyped on. I think it's really cool. In the summertime, I do try and do as much water sports as I can. So, you know, if I can bust out the Supreme life jacket to flex on all the other water sports goers, then that would be awesome. But yeah, when it drops, we'll see what the retail is and then decide whether we're going to cop or not. Next up, we have the small and large metal boxes. These could come in handy just for like traveling, so like putting some like camera gear in, some like SD cards, just random things to take with me while traveling. So yeah, they may come in handy, although I do have this tin where I keep all my Supreme stickers, so I may have to cop these to replace that. But otherwise, all really depends on retails with some things like this. If it's just too much for what it is, I won't cop. If it's like reasonable, then you know what, I may just pull the trigger on it. Next up, we have the Supreme Wilson tennis balls. Now, I think these are super cool. I don't play tennis often, but I just think having this to have on my shelf will look super cool. Just because you've got that like box logo going up the sort of bottle thing the balls are in. I think it's super dope. I don't play tennis enough, and even if I did, I would not use these Supreme tennis balls, because I know how easy it is to lose tennis balls when playing tennis, so I definitely wouldn't want to risk losing one of my Supreme tennis balls. So I probably will cop these. I reckon it'll have a pretty low retail. I'm guessing around £20. Definitely worth copping. So yeah, big fan of the Wilson tennis balls. Next up, last season, like halfway through the season, I decided I really wanted the Zippo lighter, and I looked into buying one for like resale, and it's just like, I know they were like £50 retail and people want like 70, 80, even up to like £100 for them. So I was like, you know what, I'll wait out till next season. And what do you know, they dropped the most fire freaking Zippo lighter they've done in a while. So it's like the all over logo print on the Zippo lighter. So I'm super happy I waited out, because I'm definitely going straight for this on week 1 online drop. I have to have that. Super cool, and yeah, I need that in my collection. Next up, we have this Supreme like stamp thing. I'm super annoyed because this item would have been so much cooler if it just stamped out a box logo. I don't like this whole "don't ask me for shit" stamp it does. So yeah, I'm kind of gutted. It would have been like a must cop for me if it had just a box logo that it stamped out, but it's got some stupid little message which I don't really like, so I'm gonna pass on that. Next up, we have these stacking cups. A lot of my friends are like coffee enthusiasts, so I think this will be just a super cool thing just to have laying around for them. So yeah, I think it's super cool. I went through a little patch where I wanted those like glass cups that dropped a couple seasons ago, but you know what, I think I may cop these depending on retail, just because when you have them all stacked up there, you've got the box logo running down. I think it's a super dope accessory. Next up, Supreme tend to do some sort of ashtray every season, so they've decided to go with this chicken dinner graphic that they have running through all sorts of things. I don't like the graphic personally. I see how they've incorporated the actual sort of like plate into this ashtray, but yeah, I don't really mess with this graphic, so it's going to be a pass. The Supreme jar set that's dropping, I think it's super cool. There's endless amounts of things you could use these jars for, and like these are the sort of things like my mum buys, so just having like a hype beast version of that is super cool in my opinion. Next up we have these pocket samurais. I think they're super cool. Unlikely I'm going to be able to get my hands on them because these sort of things never drop online. It's normally in-store only, in some cases US only. Next up we have the Mophie chargers coming back. This time we're seeing an all black colorway as well as the previous colorway from last season. I don't know, I've got portable chargers and stuff. I've actually got one that I've customized with a Supreme sticker, so it's basically this already. And as far as I remember, they were quite pricey, so I'll probably pass on these just because I don't need that in my collection. The water bottle probably most likely will have to be copped. I sort of don't like this whole water bottle design where you have to fully unscrew this thing to use it, but you know what, it's pretty sick. It's an aluminium water bottle, can't go wrong. And if I don't use it, it'll be sick for my little hype shelf I've got going on here. This umbrella, I would have been down if it just had some sort of better graphic on it. They use this graphic on some of the tees or some of the pieces in the clothing side of things, but I just think it's a really dumb graphic. It's really not obvious. So yeah, for the price of it, you're not really getting your flex, you know. If you're paying so much for an accessory, you want it to have Supreme plastered on it, and here I'm just not seeing it. Then we've got this alphabet graphic back, but on a beach towel, which I don't see why they did. I just don't like this whole alphabet themed graphic. I would have much preferred to have just a straight up Supreme red beach towel. The gloves, these are whatever to me. They're super ugly, and yeah, I couldn't see myself wearing them. Plus they're like work gloves, so I don't think they're really designed to keep you warm or anything. So again, for me, that'll be a pass. Supreme studded logo belt. This is kind of whatever. It's going to be super expensive, and I don't really like the whole studded look. I just think it's a bit tacky. Then we have the Hanes tee, but this time we're getting this checkered design, which also carries over to the boxers. Now, I don't know why they do it, but last season they did the camo, Realtree camo. This season they're doing the checkered, but you can only get them in 2 packs, which just frustrates me because the black and the white ones you can get them in 4 packs, and I'm pretty sure the Realtree camo were more expensive than the normal ones, and the normal ones you get 4, and like, I really wanted the Realtree ones, but it worked out if I bought them online on their own. It came to like 50 quid, and I was just like, come on, I'm not paying 50 quid for 2 pairs of boxers. So hopefully something fire drops the same week as these, so I can have them in like the same order. So it just works out a bit cheaper, but I don't get why they made these like different designed ones in packs of 2. I just think it's stupid. Next up we have these weird sort of waterproof pouches. I think that's what they are. You get a small and a large. They're a bit random. I'll never use if I buy them, so yeah, this is whatever. Just pass on that. Next up, this has sort of caught everyone off guard. They're not really sure what it is. From what I gather, it's like a waterproof like lantern, like a light up thing, and it's got like a solar panel. But yeah, it looks just like a weird sort of kids toy, but yeah, it's a solar panel, inflatable light that is waterproof. That's what I'm pretty sure it is. Don't know why they chose that as an accessory. It's super random, but hey ho, I am intrigued to see someone have it in hand. Not for me. Next up we have this pen. As far as I'm aware, it's just some sort of like fancy aluminium pen. I'm sure it have like a silly price. So yeah, not really too hyped on copping this. Next up we have these acrylic hair bobbles. This is one for the female hypebeast out there. Not too much to say about this. I'm sure female hypebeasts will be digging this, but total pass for me. Moving on to the keychains, we have this cactus keychain. I think this is kind of dope. Kind of want to cop it just because it's such like a small detailed thing in such a, like a small little capsule on a keyring. Also, I copped the coffin keychain last season. I'm loving that just on my little lockbox here. Then we have this geisha keychain. Again, this is whatever, not too hyped on this. Super random, we're getting a backtrack breathalyzer keychain, which is super weird. I don't know why you'd want this, but yeah, a bit of a random one from Supreme. Depending on retail, I may cop this. It's just to have a little like funny little piece, but yeah, not too fussed about it. Super hyped on this though, the block logo keychain. I do like one sort of like a big sort of semi-big keychain for my car keys, so I think copping this Supreme one in gold will be a super nice thing to have on my keys. If that's reasonable, I'd say like I'd max out about £20 at this. If it's more than that, then we'll leave it be. Moving on to the skate decks now. We have this chicken dinner graphic on a skate deck. Just straight up pass. Let's just leave this. Then we have this Lee logo skateboard. Now I've gathered that they're doing a lot of stuff with this Lee Quinos. Guessing that's how you pronounce his name. They're doing a lot of items with this artist throughout the season. So I noticed they had like a hoodie, a tee. So this could mean one week we get a full-on collab with this guy, but I'm not too keen on this deck, so that's going to be a pass. Then here we have some straight up fire. We have the Skull Pile skate deck. Now I'm guessing that this whole skull pile theme is this season's version of the whole blood and semen thing, because we had a lot of blood and semen running through full winter 17, so I'm guessing the skull pile is the new theme that's going to be plastered over this season, and I am fully in love with this deck. It glows in the dark, it's super dope. This season I'm fully starting a deck wall in my room, so I need to cop this because it'll be just a sick deck to get that started off with. And then carrying on with the fire, they're dropping the Illegal Business Controls America skate deck. They're dropping 4 of these. I'd love to have all 4 of them, but that is just not feasible, so I think I'm going to be going for the red and white one, just because it's the classic Supreme, and I think it'll be a super dope piece to own. But yeah, and then finally, I just quickly want to go over the bags, because why not? So this season, the theme, well not really theme, but the whole trend throughout the bags is we have this whole sort of Supreme strip repeat pattern going throughout all the bags. So we have the Supreme going all the way across, over the handle, down the other side on these backpacks. Not too fussed about these backpacks. I'm quite content with my Supreme North Face backpack that I use at the moment, so I'm not in the market for a new backpack. Then we have a large duffel bag with the Supreme repeat pattern going all across it. I think it looks super cool. I like all the colorways, the tan especially. I think that they haven't done tan bags in a while. It's normal. I think it's normally like white, red, blue and black. So the addition of the tan, I'm really appreciating. I think it's a really nice colorway. And then we also get a regular size duffel bag, all those same colorways. Then we get the waist bag. I'm a bit iffy about waist bags. I kind of like want one, but at the same time I feel like I fully would never use it. So yeah, probably passing. But then we have my favorite of them all, the shoulder bag. As you can see, I have last season's one here. My review on that did really well. It was like my best video of last season, so I think it's going to be worth me copying this one and getting a review out for you guys as soon as possible. So yeah, that about wraps up my look at all the accessories, bags, skate decks dropping this season. Leave a comment down below if you want me to go through any other category of items. Tell me what accessories you want to cop down below. I'm sure a lot of you want to cop most things that got announced today. But yeah, I'm super hyped for this season. I'm super hyped to get more videos out for you guys. We're going to have lots of reviews coming, lots of unboxings, lots of everything really. It's going to be hectic. I want to get lots of content from this season out to you. So yeah, apart from that, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Peace guys.